welcome to our virtual yoga class. We'll begin class laying on our back. Take a moment to lay on the mat. Hands can rest on your belly, chest, or your hands can frame your hips, backs of the hands on the floor, palms facing the ceiling. Once again, hands can lay on your chest or on your heart center, or hands can frame your hips. And then you're going to gather your breath here. And what I mean by gathering your breath, it means that you're being present with your breath. You're noticing that you're starting to tune into your body. You're noticing for the rest of the class, your breath is your focusing tool. And so you're inviting a quality breath. Invite a deep inhale as well as exhale. And then feel free to exhale, side out, inhale, and then side out. As we say sigh out, we're releasing physical tension, mental tension, emotional tension. We're building that bridge of the physical, mental, emotional body as our breath is that bridge. Soften the neck, shoulders, down the length of the arms, all the way down to the toes. Feel supported by your breath. Noticing that as we welcome our breath, we are welcoming our experience. Inhale, ribcage expands, belly expands. Exhale, softly release. Checking in with your body, scanning your neck, shoulders down to your fingertips, down to the length of your toes. Reminding yourself of what your full inhale is like. A full exhale. We have such short breathing throughout the day. It takes a moment for us to regulate ourselves and notice what that full breath is. Take a moment here, appreciate your breath. And then we'll invite a soft body, full body stretch, lifting our arms up overhead, interlacing our fingers, palms towards the back of the room. You can lift your abdomen up towards the ceiling. You're separating your shoulder blades. You can point your toes. It's a gentle way to check in with the body and to wake up the body. Start to release your hands. Bend both knees here. Inhale, you're grounding your feet onto your hands. You're lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. So we're activating glutes here and our quads. It's a way to wake up the body and energize the body here in a gentle way. Drop your hips back down towards the floor. And now rest that left ankle on top of your right thigh. Weave your left hand between your legs. Interlace your fingers right behind that right thigh and hold. You can bring your thigh closer towards your belly and your chest here. You're focusing on your hip, simultaneously relaxing your head, shoulders. Take a deep belly breath. You can bring your thigh closer towards your belly, your chest, for a deeper stretch. And then release both feet on the floor. This time, rest that right ankle on top of your left thigh. Weave your right hand between your legs. Interlace your fingers right behind that left thigh. You're focusing on your right hip here, either hanging in here or bringing your thigh closer towards your chest, your belly. Inhale, exhale, release, both feet on the floor. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling and hold. You're distributing weight around your heels, the edges of your feet. You're lifting your hips as much as you can. It can even be a gentle stretch here in the abdomen. You can imagine a cord, lifting your hips as much as you can here. Take a generous breath, full diaphragm breathing. Belly can fully expand in this pose. And then release your hips back down towards the floor. We're going to ground our hands on the mat. Lift up, lengthen our legs, and right a little bend to our knees. Flex our feet. Just hold here. Be purposeful in lengthening the spine, drawing the shoulders down. Press your feet towards the front of the room. You're activating calves and hamstrings here. And then your choice, you can keep your feet flexed or you can relax your feet and then fold over. A few breaths here. I want you to go ahead and take a moment to deepen into the stretch. Hands can reach shins or toes. They can rest on your thighs. You're focusing on your hamstring. Breathe into the stretch. Slide your shoulders down. Belly towards the floor. Deep belly breath. Fold a little deeper than you're accustomed to, not to a point that's painful. Release the pose. We'll shift into our cross-legged position. Let's shift a little bit of that stretch into the spine by coming into a twist. We're going to take our left hand on our knee, twist towards the left and hold. You're gripping your knee for an extra stretch, for a deeper stretch, a deeper twist. Chin is neutral, pointed down towards the floor, and then release. Opposite side. Inhale here, exhale, chin is neutral. Back to center one more time on each side. Now if you want to hold one side longer, go ahead and do that. Make sure you slide that right shoulder down. Back to center, opposite side. Inhale here. And exhale, release, come back to center. Both soles of the feet come to touch. We're going to fold down, belly towards the floor. Inhale here and exhale. Slide your shoulders down. Deep belly breath. And now release the pulse. Transition into your tabletop. Hands are right beneath your shoulders. Knees are hips width distance apart. We're going to take one cow and cat pose. You're lifting your tailbone. Exhale, round your spine. Actually, let's go ahead and take a couple of rounds here. Go ahead and continue waking up the spine, protecting the mid back, lower back, upper back. Make sure you're tucking your chin towards your chest in that cat pose, and that you're lifting your tailbone in your cow pose. Remain aware of your fingertips, palms, tops of your feet, knees on the floor. And wherever you're at, about one more round of each. Cow pose. Shift into your cat pose. And then come back to neutral. Your spine is neutral here. Lift your right leg, bend your knees, stack your hips to the right. You're grounding through your palms still. You're opening around that right hip, right glute. And now press through your palms, round your spine, knee and chin towards chest. Hover, and now lift your leg, bend your knee, stack your hips, hold. Release your foot back down towards the floor, opposite side. Lengthen your left leg, bend your knee, stack your hips. Round your spine, knee and chin towards chest. Lift your leg, bend your knees, stack your hips. Release your knee down towards the floor. Edges of your feet towards the edges of your mat. Lengthen your arms, palms on the floor. Palms on the floor, head on. Take 3 intentional breaths. See if you can focus on 3 consecutive breaths. Helps with our focus, our mental concentration. And now ground your palms onto the mat. We'll lift back up into a neutral tabletop. Press that left hand onto the floor. Lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. Hold. Side body stretch here. You're lengthening your arms. I'm pressing my head back as well. So I'm lifting, lengthening, and also pressing my head back. Create some more space there around your shoulder. You're going to open up there. And then release. Opposite side. Lift your left arm up. Hold. Lifting my hand and pressing my hand back. Come back to center. We'll lift up into our downward facing dog. Hold that down dog. Breathe into your heels, hamstrings. Relax your breath. Now release, knees onto the floor. Shift your hands right beneath your shoulders. Inhale up, cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, cat pose. Lift up, downward facing dog. Now when we're lifting up, we're taking your hands forward. You're lifting up into your down dog. Hold here. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe into your hamstrings, the backs of your legs, your heels, down to your toes. Deep belly breath. Release your knees down towards the floor. Bring your hands right beneath your shoulders. You have to do that shift. Inhale up, cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, cat pose. Chin towards chest, 2 more times. Inhale up, cow pose. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale up. Exhale, round your spine. From here, shift into your downward facing dog. You're taking your hands forward just a little bit. Lift up, down dog. You're making that upside down V. Press that left foot onto the floor. Lift your right leg. Bend your knees. Stack your hips. And then release your foot back down towards the floor. Opposite side. Lift your left leg. Bend your left knee. Stack your hips. Release your foot down to the floor. Take your gaze right between your hands. Walk or jump up to that forward fold. Take your hands to your shins. We're going to inhale halfway up. Exhale, release, and then let's sweep our arms up overhead. And feet in front of our heart center. Inhale, exhale. Release your hands, so your hands frame your hips. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead, palms up towards the ceiling. Lift your heels halfway or all the way up and hold. Keep your gaze steady. It's our Drishti point in yoga. Finding that point to focus on. Release your heels, release your hands. Interlace your fingers behind you. Draw your shoulder blades closer together. Bend your knees, pull down, forward fold. Keep your arms extended behind you. Breathe into your hamstrings, relax your neck, your head. Place weight on your heels, take your hands to your shins, inhale halfway up. Exhale, release, relax your neck. Second round, inhale halfway up. Exhale, release. Third round, inhale halfway up. Exhale, release. Press through your feet, inhale, arms lift. Hands in front of your heart center. We're going to take a breath for the day we've had so far. A breath for this moment. And a breath for the rest of our day. We can inhale here, exhale. Side out, release your hands. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, bend your knees, pull down, forward fold. Hands to your shins. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. Second round, inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. Third round, inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. Sweep your arms up overhead. You're pressing through your heels. Arms lift up. Hands in front of your chest. You're noticing your left hand press against right hand press against left hand. Inhale. Exhale. Release your hands. We're going to shift into our warrior one. Our left foot steps forward. Our right leg steps back. Right foot is in a diagonal with a 90-degree bend to that left knee. So I'm imagining my legs are these scissors attempting to close. That means that my glutes and my quads are active. My heels are grounded on the floor. My hips pivot towards the front as much as I can. You might notice a little bit of opening there on that right hip. Let's take our arms up overhead. You can lift your gaze. Hold here. It's a pose of strength and equilibrium. You're grounded in this chair pose. Inhale here. Exhale. Release your hands. Cup your forearms with your hands. Hold here. So start to extend that left knee. Drop your chest so it's about parallel to the floor. Hold here. And now drop your hand. You can rest it on your shin or take your hand on the inside of that right foot. We're going to lift our right arm overhead. Take your gaze up towards the ceiling. You're shifting that shoulder back. Breathe into your heel. Wrap the leg up the length of the arm. Fold. And now release both hands so they frame that left foot. Drop your belly towards your thigh. Relax your neck, your head. Inhale. Exhale. Prepare to shift back into your warrior one. You're going to press through that left foot. Lead through your core, your heart, your chest. Bring your arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Hands in front of your heart center. We're going to lift our right leg. Warrior three. Our chest dips towards the floor. We're lengthening that right leg behind us. Keep your gaze steady. Feel free to float that leg as high as you can, or you can release your foot so it's hovering just a few inches off the floor. Inhale here. And then exhale, release your hands on the floor. Hands are beneath your shoulders, fingertips on the floor. Lift that right leg as high as you can. Distribute weight on that left heel. And then right foot meets that left foot. Let's inhale halfway up 3 times. Exhale, release, inhale halfway up. Exhale, release. Third round, inhale halfway up. After that third round, let's roll up slowly. Head comes up last. Relax your arms. Head comes up last. We can come into our mountain pose, hands framing our hips, palms towards the front of the room. Let's steady our breath. Inhaling, exhaling for the day we've had. Inhaling and exhaling for this moment. Inhaling and exhaling for the rest of our day. If your eyes are closed, you can open your eyes. You can shift your feet onto the floor. We're going to lift both arms up overhead and interlace your fingers, palms up towards the ceiling. Keep your gaze steady, two-legged balance. You lift your heels either halfway or all the way up. You're noticing that effort and that part that requires effortlessness. It's a paradox in all of these poses. where the effort is, where the ease is. Release your heels, interlace your fingers, draw your shoulder blades closer together, bend down forward, fold, keep your elbows extended behind you. Soften your neck, your head. Drop your hands to your shins. You're going to inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, second round, inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, third round, inhale, halfway up. After that third round, your choice, how you come up to standing. Roll up slowly or sweep your arms up overhead. Hands either in front of your heart center or hands framing your hips. Inhale and exhale. Prepare for warrior two. Warrior one. Right foot forward. Left leg steps back. Your left foot is in the diagonal. You have a 90-degree bend. You're sinking your hips a little bit closer towards the floor. You're pivoting your hips towards the front. Imagine your legs are scissors attempting to close, but they can't. That means your legs are active and not passive. Lift your arms up. Take your gaze up towards the ceiling, or you can take your gaze straight ahead. And breath here, breathing to your heels, into your fingertips. Release your hands. Cup your forearms with your hands. Hold. Start to dip your chest so it's parallel to the floor. You can lengthen that right knee. And now drop your hands, so hands on the shin or on the floor, and lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Take your gaze up. You're grounding through your heels. You can extend that right leg or invite a generous bend to that right knee. Sink that right hip closer towards the floor. And then release. Hands free, that right foot, hold. You're breathing into your hip, your hamstring, your head, your neck are relaxed. Hold the pose. From here, we're going to shift back up into a warrior one. Lift through your core, grounding through your heels. Lift your arms up. Hold. Deep belly breath. Keep a bend to that right knee. Very grounded and strong pose. We take our hands in front of our heart center. Prepare for our warrior three. You're grounding through that right foot as you simultaneously lift that left leg and dip your chest so it's parallel to the floor. Leg and chest. Take a steady breath here. Release your hands on the floor, fingertips on the floor, in line with your shoulders. Lift your left leg as high as you can. The left foot meets that right foot. 3 rounds as an inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, soften your neck. Make it a practice of softening your neck, letting go of that torso, and drop down. After that third round, we'll shift into our vinyasa. Let's take our hands on the mat. Step back into our forward fold. Release down towards the floor. Inhale up, upward facing dog. There's an extension in the spine. Come up, downward facing dog. We're lifting our left leg. Bend our knees, stack our hips. Now left knee towards that left elbow. Hover here. You're pressing through your palms. Lift your leg, bend your knees, stack your hips. Gather your breath. Now left knee towards that right elbow. Hover. And now lift your leg. Bend your knee. Stack your hips. And then release your foot back down towards the floor. Invite a deep breath. Okay, apologies, I thought my video turned off. Now, take a deep belly breath. Let's drop down, knees on the floor, into a child's pose. We'll do the other side in just a moment. Inhale. Exhale, 2 more breaths in our child's pose. Take that breath that supports you. And then after a breath, you're going to lift back up into a downward facing dog. Now we'll work on the opposite side. Lift your right leg, bend your right knee, stack your hips. Right knee now towards that right elbow, you're hovering. Now press with your palms firmly as you lift your leg back up again, bend your knees, stack your hips. And then right knee towards that left elbow. And then lift your leg, bend your knees, stack your hips. And then release your foot back down towards the floor. Take a deep belly breath, breathing more active class. Remain in this downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Otherwise, child's pose, 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Perhaps lengthening your inhale and exhale just a little longer than you're accustomed to. That helps with concentration. This is your 3rd cycle of breath. We'll start to release our child's pose or downward facing dog. Belly on the floor. Interlace your fingers behind you. Point your toes 5 rounds. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Your feet float off the floor as well. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, release. Use your breath to help find that lift as you inhale up. Exhale, release. 3rd round. And then after that 5th round, release your hands frame your chest, lift up, upward facing dog. Tops of the feet are on the floor. Be careful, breath extension in your spine. Curl your toes, lift up, downward facing dog. Inhale here, exhale, remaining this down dog. You're pressing through your palms. Taking a generous breath, take a vinyasa, plank pose. Release down towards the floor. Inhale up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. 2nd round out of 3, plank pose. Release down towards the floor. Inhale up, upward facing dog. Down dog. You can take 1 breath, 2 breaths, or 3 breaths here. Last round. From your downward facing dog, plank pose, you're keeping your elbows close to your torso as you release down towards the floor, and then inhale up, extending through the spine, tops of the feet on the floor, upward facing dog. Exhale, shift into your downward facing dog. Once in your down dog, last sequence here, we're lifting our right leg, bend our knees, stack our hips. Right knee towards our right elbow, hover here, press through your palms, lift your leg again, bend your knees, stack your hips. Right knee towards that left elbow, hover. Lift your leg, bend your knees, stack your hips. Remember to take that generous breath and then release your foot back down towards the floor. After a breath, lift your left leg, bend your left knee, stack your hips. Take your knee towards your left elbow, hover, press through your palms. Lift your leg, bend your knees, stack your hips. And now left knee towards that right elbow and hover. Lift your leg, bend your knees, stack your hips. And release your foot back down towards the floor. Take a breath. And then release down into your child's pose, taking that moment of pause, that moment of rest. Arms extended, palms on the floor. See if you can lengthen your inhale and exhale just a little bit. deep belly breath. And then press through your palms. You're going to go ahead and shift into a tabletop. Press that left hand onto the floor and lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. And now release your shoulder onto the floor. We're coming into a needle pose, a twist. Lift your left arm up towards the ceiling and hold. Rest that hand on your lower back. And then release. Tabletop. This time, lift your left palm up towards the ceiling. Prepare for needle pose. You're dropping your shoulder onto the floor, lifting that right arm up towards the ceiling. You can keep that hand lifted, or you can rest that hand on your lower back. Release your hand, lift back up. One cow and half pose. And then release. We'll come to sit in a cross-legged position. You've been practicing awareness throughout the class, shifting your spine, shifting into position, drawing your shoulders down, lengthening spine. Let your seat be an expression of that. Hands rest on your knees. Inhale here and exhale. Lengthen your inhale and exhale a little longer than you're accustomed to. On your next breath, powerful inhale for a powerful exhale. Drop your chin towards your chest. Let your head remain here. Roll your head from one shoulder. Drop your head back. Chin towards that right shoulder. Drop your chin towards your left. Full circle here. You can also do half a circle. Your focus here is in the side of the neck, back of the neck, throat. In addition, shift your attention to shoulders, upper back, maybe even your mid-back. It all is connected. We store a lot of tension in our back, shoulders, and neck. This is a good opportunity to release tension, to notice what feels sore. Very gentle way to take care of those points that store a lot of stress. So what I mean by storing stress is that we move throughout our day, usually not that conscious of our bodies. We're busy in our thinking. We tend to crunch up and tense up the body and remain like that for quite a length of time. This is your opportunity to balance that out. Now, if you prefer to focus or work on some meditation, go ahead and do that. Just bring your head back to a neutral position. Otherwise, we're here anywhere between 5 to 10 breaths here. Long enough to ground through our breath, to release, to open up, to center ourselves, to work on ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally. Once again, this is a holistic yoga practice. And we're creating that connection there of how the physical, mental, and emotional body all influence each other. Another breath or two here. Head comes back to a neutral position. Hands rest on your knees. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears. Draw them back. Be purposeful in bringing your shoulder blades closer together as you draw them down. Shoulders up towards your ears. Draw them down. And then shoulders up towards your ears, roll them forward. It might feel a little strange. We don't have to roll our shoulders forward. Good for balance here. And then after another round, release, lift your arms up overhead, interlace your fingers, palms up, round your spine, chin towards chest, and hold. Release. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead, palms up towards the ceiling, chin towards your chest, palms towards the front, release. Inhale, arms lift up. This time we're going to take our hands right behind our head, press your elbows towards the back, twist towards the left and towards the right. A couple of times on each side. If you want to remain on one side a little longer, I highly recommend that you do so. Inhale here, exhale, and start to release the pose. We're going to go ahead and lengthen our legs out in front, palms up towards the ceiling. We're going to activate our core strength here. Slowly release down towards the floor. Find a point to hover. So your feet float off the floor. Chin moves towards your chest, and be shaking your spine. Hold. And now drop your head back. Generous breath here. Bend your knees, core workout. We lengthen our legs up towards the ceiling. Slowly release your heels so that your heels float off the floor, a foot or 2 feet off the floor. Hold. Palms are on the floor. Glutes, quads, and core are active. And release your feet on the floor. Soften around the tailbone, the lower back, take a breath. Second round out of 3, bend your knees, lengthen your legs up towards the ceiling, release your legs so they can hover anywhere from 1 foot, 2 feet off the floor. Find a comfortable yet challenging point. Don't forget to breathe and release. Soften the tailbone. Last round of bend your knees, lengthen your legs up towards the ceiling, hold and release. Find that point to hover. Heels on the floor. We'll bend both knees, feet float off the floor, hands grab your knees, rock to the left and to the right. You want to protect the lower back and around the tailbone, massage around there. Round your spine, forehead towards your knee, chin towards your chest, hold. Drop your head back. We're going to shift into a twist. Bring your arms out to a T. Drop your knees towards the right and drop your head towards the left. Now, once you're here, to find the full benefit of this twist, of this pose, soften the body. See, where are you holding onto tension? Where are you holding your body up where you don't need to? And where can you soften just a little bit more? You're softening the neck down the length of your spine to your hips, imagining your knees melt further towards the floor. Take a comfortable breath. It's difficult to take a full deep breath in a twist. Just take that comfortable breath. Notice your ribcage expand on your inhale. breath here. And now knees come back to center. Drop your knees towards the left. Drop your head towards the right. In order to receive the full benefit of this twist, you want your head and your knees to face opposite directions. You're purposely scanning your body, neck, shoulder blades, down your spine, to your hips and knees, seeing where can you soften a little bit more. You're supported by the ground. Soften. Even if you're releasing just 10% further. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Knees come back to center. We're going to shift into our butterfly pose. Feet, soles of the feet touch. Your hands can rest on your belly, chest. Your hands can frame your hips, palms up towards the ceiling. You can also lift your arms overhead, backs of the hands on the floor, elbows bent. There are different options there with your arms, and they influence how your spine lays on the floor, even how your hips feel. If you take your hands in front on your belly or chest, you can regulate your breath a little bit more. Once again, I want to emphasize that the subtle ways that we position and move our bodies speak a lot. They inform us physically, mentally, emotionally. And as you're here, just as in your twist pose, you'll once again scan your body and see what can you soften a little bit more. However, in this pose, you have access to that full diaphragm breathing, meaning that you can expand your belly as much as you can here. Now, it does take practice to take consecutive long, deep breaths. It's actually not that natural. We have to practice it. So take a moment here in the spirit of practice, a few deep breaths. This is the same full breath you can return to at any time throughout your day. Once you've taken some few deep breaths, you can continue practicing, or you can allow your breath to go back to its natural rhythm. No control of the breath. That is an option for you. Soften the neck, down the spine, to the hips, deep belly breath, or your natural breath here. Take that one more breath. And then we'll start to shift into our final resting pose, our Shavasana. Lengthen your legs out in front. Palms face your hips, or palms frame your hips and face the ceiling. Eyes are closed. Let's together take a powerful inhale, exhale, sigh it out. And then appreciate this moment for what it is. Noticing that as we appreciate and accept our breath, we welcome our experience, whatever it may be. Part of a holistic yoga practice, it's meditative focus, or focuses on meditation, is to strengthen that ability to notice. Notice what's going on in your body, to notice sensations, to notice thoughts. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. In this last resting pose, it's your opportunity to be with your body without doing very much. This pose teaches us the wisdom of doing. Soften your forehead, your jaw, your neck, and your shoulders. Soften down the length of your arms, your wrists, your fingertips, palms. Soften the upper back, mid back, and lower back. And soften down your legs, all the way down to your ankles and toes. And then we'll start to shift our attention back to our breath, inviting a generous and leisurely inhale and exhale. You can restore some movement to your fingertips and your toes. You can lift your arms up overhead, invite a full body stretch, and or turn your body to the left or to the right, allowing it to remain heavy and relaxed. Once again, return to that leisurely and generous breath. This is a particular type of breath that slows down a relationship with time. There is no hurry in the present moment. Yes, inhale and exhale here. We'll start to shift into our seated position. You come to sit in your cross-legged or on your ankles. Please make sure to lengthen your spine, draw your shoulder blades down. And then we'll take a moment to seal the class in gratitude of our experience and gratitude of our breath. Let's take our hands in front of our heart center. Inhale here and exhale. And in the tradition of yoga, the highest in me sees the highest in me. Namaste.